And we're live. Welcome back, folks. Here's another great pre-summit interview with one of our great speakers. I've got Nathalie with me. I'm not going to attempt to pronounce Nathalie's second name because I'm useless. I am a disaster, Nathalie. I am ashamed to myself. So I'm going to let you introduce yourself, and we're going to be talking about Nathalie's background, why she chose this particular subject to do a presentation on, which is create a unique experience for your membership so they never want to leave, which sounds fabulous and a fabulous idea in general. So, Nathalie, if you could introduce yourself properly, and I apologise for my inabilities, and we can have a great intro chat about it.
Sure. So my name is Nathalie Doremieux, and I live in France. And a little bit of my background. So what I do is I am an online program expert, and particularly when it comes to memberships and recurring income. I've been in business for 16 years. I run a family business with my husband, and I actually didn't start as an entrepreneur. My husband is the entrepreneur, so you can say that I really became an entrepreneur to support him in his idea of wanting to be, and run his own business. But here I am, being the face of the company now, and supporting, our clients, creating online programs that people actually consume and get results with. So it's really where the topic, of the talk that I'm going to be giving is creating that unique experience, because I'm sure that you've all been in an online course or program where you buy it and you very often don't complete it, and then you just shelve it and then you go on to the next thing. So when it comes to recurring membership, what happens is that if people don't consume and get results, they'll leave. So how do you make sure that you get the right people and you get them to actually not feel overwhelmed, not feel stressed, feel focused, and give them what they need when they need it? And for that, you need to meet them where they are. And you need to create that unique experience, that feeling that, yes, I am in the right place for everybody. And people will come at different level of expertise or confidence, and you need to be able to meet that. And that experience is not only inside the membership, it really starts from the sign up and also the offboarding. If somebody decides to leave, how do you handle that and make that a good experience so that they might eventually come back? Because that happens quite a lot, actually. So that's where really the idea came, is that just putting videos out there on a platform and calling it a course or a membership is not going to make you successful, and it's not going to get people results. You need more than that.
Oh, sounds fabulous. So, what do you think are some of the key things based on your great experience that when people are starting a membership website and thinking of sharing their great knowledge or insights, some of the key one or two basic mistakes people make?
So the first mistake that probably most people will be making is to start thinking of the tech, because the tech is one of the things that holds people back from starting. So they'll immediately start like, what do I need? What tools do I need? What is the best tool? And this is actually the wrong way, because you're not exactly sure what you want to build yet, but you're already looking for the tool to make it happen.
Yeah.
So it creates overwhelm, because imagine it's like asking someone, I want to buy a car, what is the best car? And then everybody starts sharing their car or the car that they sell, and without even asking you, what do you need? Right? So most people go backward about it. They try to either completely hide the tech and like, oh my gosh, and then nothing much happens, because they are focused on creating videos, recording, and doing PDFs and things like that, right? Or they focus on the tech, like, what platform do I need? And they try to learn the platform and things like that. Instead of the first thing that you really need to do is you really need to be super clear who your membership is for, what recurring problem you are solving and what is your recurring solution, right? And once you're clear with that, then you can go one step further and say, okay, now what is this going to look like, right? So that's, I would say, the main thing that gets people overwhelmed or giving up is just focusing on the wrong thing. And then, thinking, it's too complicated, it's going to take too long, it's too overwhelming, it's going to cost me too much. When in fact, they haven't done, the thing that really will help them, get closer to actually getting this life.
Oh, that's fantastic. Yeah, I've found myself that people, but for very understandable reasons, they do get very focused and semi-obsessed about the tech. Because it's a bit like if you're building a house, isn't it? You've got to build it, but you need a plan and you need some idea where you're going before you start actually building, don't you?
Exactly. I mean, it's the same with the car. You're like, are you going to be living by the mountain? Are you going to be living by the ocean? Are you going to have kids, animals? How big the car needs to be, right? And it's the same thing for a membership. What is it going to look like inside? What are the features that you're going to need? And that very often people don't know until you've actually started to build an interest list, have the conversation with people and see how you're going to structure your solution so that it matches what they actually want. Then you won't know, because there are so many things you can put out there. Do you want a community? Do you want gamification? Do you want quizzes? Do you want game? Do you want to reward people? Or do you want progress tracking? There are so many things you can add, and not every membership should have everything. It really is based on your audience and how best to help them get the results that they sign up for.
That's great. So when it comes, another area based on my own experience is what I call a lot of people that are thinking in building their first membership experience website is what I call the war and peace idea. And what I mean by that, Nathalie, is that they think, for understandable reasons, that if they build an enormous course out with loads of content, loads of lessons, loads of information, that really will make the course so appealing, so attractive, that they're going to get loads of people sign up. And I think it's totally the opposite is true. What's your own feelings?
So I agree with you, but I think there is a little nuance to that, because it also depends on your market. Mm-hmm. If your market is very junior, they are attracted by volume. So they are attracted by the fact that, oh my gosh, there's going to be a lot of things. Those are people that probably haven't purchased many programs, and they are attracted by the fact that there's going to be a lot of things. Now, are they going to get overwhelmed once they get in? Probably. But they could see, that, the more you put in there, the more that sounds valuable to them. So that's true for these people. Now, for people that have been in business for a while, that value their time, they don't want more videos. In fact, if you can support them and help them get the result with less content, even better, because they also value their time. So it's not about more content, it's about the right content, but it's not just about content. These people are also looking for support and accountability. Because how many times people have watched a video and say, yeah, but how does it apply to me, right? How does it work for me? So I totally agree with you. Like, too much content. It used to be a thing, those sales pages where you have so many modules and lessons, and maybe people were making some sales with that. But the reality is that even if you sell, people are going to feel overwhelmed by so much stuff. It's not about the quantity. It's really about the quality and the support to get them to get them the result.
That was a fantastic insight. Thanks for sharing that. Another area which I wanted to cover in the summit, and we cover it a little bit, well, more than a little bit on the first day, is I also feel, and it's linked to the previous question I put to you, is that they also feel that if they make a course and it's really great, that people will just come to the course. Where I feel that you've got to build your community, you've got to build people that see you as somebody that knows, has something to offer, has insight, has experience, and you've got to build your community beforehand, before you attempt to build your first course, your first membership website. What do you think about that?
That is absolutely true. I've been building membership sites we've built over 300. And I've worked one-on-one with over 300 people. And I can tell you that some of these membership right now, today, are not live because there was no audience. So they were great at creating content, but it's not because created and it's great, so they will come. Unfortunately, it doesn't work that way. You can have an amazing content, an amazing system, procedure, expertise. If you don't know how to market it to the right people, you're not going to make sales. So I always tell people, even like people that work with me, sometimes I say, you're not ready. You have to start by building your audience. And even better than that, you have to really start to identify. I know some people hate the word avatar, but you have to start identifying who is your ideal member, because you only want to get feedback from this ideal member, not for somebody that just want the freebie or things like that, because it's going to deviate you. It's going to put you out of focus. So you really want to make sure that you are talking to this ideal person and create, I'll talk about that in my presentation, but really create what I call an interest list. It's a list of people that are raising their hand and are saying, hey, Nathalie, I'm interested in what you have to, what you're coming up with. And that's how you want to approach it. When you have an idea, you start sharing it with your list, with your followers, and start talking about it. Hey, I'm thinking of doing this thing, is that something you'd be interested in? If you can't get people to raise their hand for free and say, I'm interested, please put me in the list and let me know when you have more information, how do you expect to sell? Right?
Yeah, that's fantastic. What I also think is, and what I'm so pumped up, I don't see it because I'm English, but I live in America, but I still see myself as very typical English. But I am pumped up, is that I think we got such a fantastic list of speakers with such knowledge, and people really, before they dive into doing any of the things that we've outlined in this pre-summit interview, is if they just chose somebody that they really resonate on the speaker list, and just had a quick consultation or something a bit more than that, it's really going to save them so much time and frustration and all the other factors, because there's a lot of things that you've got to get right in 2022 to have a successful membership. So I sincerely believe it's still totally possible, totally possible, but there are a lot of factors, and if you can get some consultation, some initial advice, it's going to save you a lot of problems and a lot of frustration. What's your comment on that?
Absolutely. I mean, there is still plenty of time, we have another 3 months, 100 days, 98 now, maybe. So there is still plenty of time, but it's got to be a priority. That's what I tell right now, people that book, in the form, I tell them, is that a priority for you to complete this in 2022? Because if it is, they're going to put in the work. Otherwise, you have what I call excuses sometimes, or things like that, for things, not moving forward. So for people, if it's the focus, if it's wanting to have that extra asset in your business that brings recurring income, that gives you a little bit of that financial stability that some of us women crave, then yes, it's possible, but you have to take action and getting clarity on where to start so that you don't waste time and energy on things that are going to make you feel like you're not ready, this is not good enough, and just give you the steps. This is what you need to do next. And when you see that, and when you see that you're making progress toward making it happen, then you gain momentum and confidence that this is actually working. And then it's not about when it works, how it works, it's like, when is it happening? And then you're looking for accelerators. Okay, who can I get support on this and this, because I'm not so good at it, right? So you're more likely to surround yourself with the right people to help you make it happen, whatever that looks like, than if you're not clear on the step, right? At least the first step that's going to give you that momentum.
Yeah, because I think, just to wrap up, I think the main thing people don't understand is that there's a lot of advice out there and it will help, but every membership site is it has a lot of parts that are the same to other people's experiences, but there's always something unique about each membership site. And it's a bit like business in general, isn't it? You can learn a lot from other people's experiences, but you can't, if you think you're going to find a cookie cutter solution and you just do A, B, C, D, and you'll get an outcome, you're probably deluding yourself, because each business, each membership site is a little bit unique. Is that making any sense?
It's making total sense, actually. In fact, if there was like a step-by-step, we would all be, billionaires, right? It's really not just about that. It's really about, how is this applying to me? How is this going to work? Because we all have different audiences. We also have different reasons why we run memberships. Some people run memberships because they want to create a back-end solution after their coaching program. If they're coaching, they know they are leaving money on the table after the coaching program ends and they have nothing, and they tell people goodbye. They know there is an opportunity to continue to support people and generate recurring income. Some other people do it because they just want to build that movement. They've had, like, there are people that have had like disease or some immune issues and things like that, and they want to create a community, a safe space around people that share the same experience. So the tag, like recurring, getting content, support, accountability, can all feel the same, but how it translates to an actual membership is very different based on why you're doing it and in what format you're going to actually support people. Is it very your teaching, or is it a lot of emotional support, mindset, or a mix of it, right? So it's very different. I totally agree.
Oh, that's fantastic. So how can people find out more about you, what you offer, and just get more information about yourself, actually?
So they can just visit themembershiplab.com. This is our website. And we consult. I do consult on clarity on what adding a membership to your business could look like. So telling them like the first steps based on where they are, because I've worked with so many people, so many different markets, because I've seen a lot of things. And we also build the tech, for people that want the platform built with that unique experience. That's also something that my team and I do. So the membership.
Yeah, that's fantastic. We're going to wrap it up now. Hopefully you join us for the summit. All the links are underneath the video. Come to the membershipsuccesssummit.com. You can sign up for the free 2 days, totally free. We have a third day, which is paid. We've got a fabulous list of speakers like Nathalie. You're gonna learn a ton. It's going to be great fun. We'll see you soon, folks.